Welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
Episode dos, which
Yeah.
of course is Spanish means it's the
Three.
second
It
podcast.
means three, right?
I feel like I'm going to bump this table a lot, so I'm going to
Me too.
scoot a little bit.
So for all the watchers, you're gonna question why the fuck we have a bunch of Spider-Man shit back here. It's because I just got done filming a Spider-Man themed episode. It's just me rambling about why I hate the Madam Web trailer, and
yeah, that video will be releasing
eventually
in the next week or two. So keep an eye out for that, because that'll be a fun watch. I know I enjoyed watching it live.
I hurt my hand slamming the table a couple of times.
He was very passionate about a lot of the topics.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind,
This is not a Spider-Man themed episode.
no, it's just, we like to keep it raw here. We don't like to clean up before we shoot. You can still see the outlets and dirt and sweat stains.
Yeah.
And the fact that I haven't brushed my teeth yet.
Me neither.
We don't even, oh wow, really?
Yeah, no.
Look at us. Nasty twins together. But no, I'm joking. I brush them twice a day, so they will get brushed twice a day. It just might not be. That's not the point. The point is that
Oh, Jesus.
this is not a Spider-Man themed episode. It's just
No, I like the setup.
yeah.
We might keep the setup like this.
we're trying to make it visually nicer for the watchers as opposed to the listeners who just
If you're listening, you're probably fucking confused.
yeah. We've got Spider-Man stuff up in the studio.
Yeah. Now, with all that being said,
Let's talk about what we're talking about today, which is
I'm trying really hard not to talk about the Godzilla X Kong trailer.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
kidding. I'm looking at that. So we're looking at a computer screen right now, and it looks like the new Godzilla X Kong trailer just came out. We will watch that later.
but it says 1 hour ago on the
Yeah, so it's been out for like an hour ago,
but again, that's not the point.
yeah.
Let's get to the topic. We're each going to talk about our top 5 favorite movies, like personal favorites,
Yeah.
and then we're going to talk about the criteria for the perfect movie, and then which one of us thinks what we think a perfect movie is, like what fits into that criteria.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have you do the honors.
All right.
It can be in no particular order, but if you have a particular order,
I don't
say that.
have a particular order.
So then just like top 5 favorite movies.
Well, I guess I do have a particular order with like number one. I have like a lot at number one, just to warn you all. So I have here's all my movies that are like number one for me.
Multiple number ones. I feel like that's cheating.
Well, fuck you. So this is a if you know me well type deal. If you know me well, you know that this is one of my favorites. For all the listeners out there, I just grabbed a copy of the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. I grew up with this movie. And also, me grabbing this does not mean that I like 1, 2, and 3. I like this one the most.
It is the best, hands down.
Like, we're going to get fucking castrated for our opinion on this.
I mean,
but
they can castrate me all they want. You're wrong. Like,
this is the best one. MJ was tolerable in this one, but that can be a topic of another podcast episode.
we'll be here all day if we talk about that one. I mean, I am just gonna say this outright. And even he disagrees with me with some of it, but he can't disagree with me with some of the other things. I am very strongly opinionated on especially the current actor of Spider-Man. Tom Holland, to be specific.
People are going to castrate you for that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe a lot of people on Twitter will agree with you. I don't know.
The only thing I'm going to say, because this is a topic for another podcast episode, so I'll touch on it, and then we'll just move on. I personally think Tom Holland sucks, both as an actor, a Spider-Man, and as a human being. He doesn't necessarily agree with me, which is fine. But with that being said, Tobey Maguire was the best. His outfit is easily the best. I like the idea of natural webs because other than that, really his only power is sticking to walls.
Raimi didn't come up with that idea, but that's another topic for another episode.
I like that. I don't, I think the web shooters is cool because it shows that he's a smart guy, but at the same time, like, spiders don't have to make machines to make their webs. They make it naturally. And I personally like that. So that being your favorite is justified, I feel.
Yeah. So back to what we were going off of. We said we were making Spider-Man themed, right? Another one of my favorites is the original 1994 Crow movie starring Brandon Lee.
That was great.
My God, that's my favorite of ever made. It's so fucking good.
I've been meaning to watch more Brandon Lee stuff because, for those of you that don't know, I idolize Bruce Lee on many different levels. That's sort of like he woke up every day trying to strive to be the best version of him that he can be. It's the most admirable trait ever, and that's why he's like my all-time idol. I have a cardboard cutout of him in my room. Yeah. I have all kinds of books and stuff. But I have not seen a single Brandon Lee movie.
He hasn't actually. I don't think he's been in much. I think The Crow was his first major one.
I think he and his father had identical movie careers. Like, I think he was in a couple small-time ones, and then his first big-time one, he died before he could see the movie. Just like his dad. Which is kind of creepy if you think about it, but
it's kind of a curse with that family. Always with those two.
Yeah, well, I believe Bruce's dad died young as well, and they were very, what's the word, superstitious about, I don't know if it was like a demon or a spirit or what it was, about like a family curse.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word. And so much so that Bruce Lee's birth name is actually June Fonley, which is a girl's name, because the father thought he could confuse the curse.
He didn't.
So, a lot of superstition by that, but, we digress.
Yeah.
The point is I need to see that movie all the way through because I've only seen the very end. And he did do an amazing job.
What, the very end of The Crow?
Yeah.
How have you not seen The Crow?
Well, we don't own it.
Next time I'm coming over here with a copy of The Crow. We are watching that motherfucker next time I come over here.
Oh no, anything but that.
I will duct tape your ass to the couch. I do not give a fuck.
Dude, you won't have to. It's unnecessary. I'm saying I will watch it.
You will.
I guess that's what I've been saying. We're agreeing on the same thing.
Next movie.
This man is like trying to kill me for a movie I'm willing to see.
So next movie, Forrest Gump.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's fucking that is a perfect movie in my eyes. But we will get into.
Get into that a little later.
Yeah, but just remember, put that in the back of your ear.
Yeah, put it in the back of your mind.
Put it in the back of your ear. Yep. You put it in the back of your ear yet? I think they did.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
If not,
they better be there, man.
You suck a butt.
I probably wouldn't. They would probably want to suck a butt. Suck something else though.
But yes, that's what 3. So you got 2 more. But no, Forrest Gump's a good one.
Another one. This counts too. The Spider-Verse movies, which is right behind Alex, but you can't really see it if you're a watcher.
Into and Across.
Yeah, Into and Across, and soon, whenever the fuck it comes out, Beyond the Spider-Verse. Those movies are, again, perfect in my eyes. We'll go into that topic later. But for animated movies, I'm not kidding you. The first one got me into wanting to become an animator. Like the first movie made me switch careers. Originally, I wanted to be a comic book artist and writer. I still kind of want to do that. But the second I saw Spider-Verse, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this now.
I've only seen Into. I haven't seen Across.
I mean, I have it here. I can watch it.
I don't hate the movies, obviously. I think I told you my only knocks on it are
the frame rate.
The frame rate I wish would have gone up. I'm personally not a fan of like that kind of like stoppy style. That I don't know if you yeah.
It's like a scientific term for it. I don't know it. I disagree with this by the way, but
which is fine. I'm not so like. I don't feel so passionate about this one like I do with other ones.
Yeah.
I just personally it gave me like vertigo after watching it. Because I
think I've heard some people say something about not vertigo, but like it gave them headaches.
Yeah, like all of the graphics at such a low frame rate. I personally would have gone a faster frame rate. And
they're not gonna like the second one then. It has more of that shit.
But I didn't hate it. I also personally am not a fan of Spider-Gwen. Specifically,
okay, well,
specifically her name. right? Like,
Oh, she doesn't go by Spider. She kind of goes by Ghost Spider in some places.
That I like.
Yeah, she goes by Ghost Spider or Spider Woman.
And I thought she was a little weird in the movie, but like not so weird that I was like, I don't like her. I don't like her character.
I think the only time she ever goes by Spider Gwen is I don't have it on me right here. Where is it? Oh, it's all over there. It's behind there. I'm not gonna get it.
I definitely like Ghost Spider better than Spider Gwen because I feel like that's like calling him Spider Peter. It's like, wait a minute. In the whole point to like protect.
Yeah, no, but she doesn't call herself like in the comics. She does not call herself Spider Gwen. It's either Spider Woman or I know at some point she calls herself Ghost Spider.
I like Ghost Spider better. Something about Spider Woman feels like I don't know.
Yeah, and also I mean, hell, the movies made Miles better. This is really starting to sound like a fucking Spider-Man themed episode.
Well, I mean, you started, and obviously Spider-Man is a big part of your personality and your childhood.
Yes, it is, and especially personality. Half my personality comes from him, by the way. I stole my Spider-Man's personality.
So obviously it's going to start off, but once we go to mine, then this will probably be all obsolete.
Yes, it will. Fuck. What would number 5 be?
I mean, you kind of said 5 there.
It was what
is technically 4 because you put the Spider-Verses kind of together. But that is 5.
Okay, yeah, but I put them both as like equally as one. Mm-hmm. No Way Home. I love that.
Oh God. Is that the one with all 3 of them?
Say a goddamn word, now we'll murder you.
Murder me all you want. That movie sucked. I'm sorry.
Twitter's gonna murder you. Have fun on Twitter.
That movie was so bad. Like the fact that you need to bring back old Spider-Man for it to be watchable says everything that needs to be said about that movie.
Well, fuck what he said. Here's what I think.
You're mad because I'm right. Like
you're mad because you're wrong.
I'm not. They're all crying about like with great power comes great responsibility. And Aunt May, Marissa Tomei is not a good Aunt May. She's supposed to be like an old gray-haired lady, and not like someone fucking my dad's age with brown. Like she looks like she's 30, which is good for her, but that's not an Aunt May. Plus Tom Holland sucked. I don't like that movie. That movie was not good, and I don't care who knows it. Come at me. I dare you. It was awful. It was awful.
The fact that I want to murder him right now speaks volumes.
I mean, this is why we did this.
Yes.
So that if one of us murders the other, we at least got it on.
Shut the fuck up! Spider No Way Home's good, you motherfucker!
So yeah, no.
Sit your motherfucking ass down!
Yeah, that.
Well, fuck what he said. I think No Way Home is good. I think part is I saw it on opening night, and that's probably one of the best theater experiences I've ever had.
And of the 3 MCU ones, I will give it credit. It is the best.
Yes, it is the best one.
So we can agree with that. But
I think for me, we'll go on on my order that when we go into the more Spider-Man themed episode that it's starting to turn into. So
and with that being said, unless you have something else you want to add.
No Way Home is good. I love it. I love all the 3 Spider people. Fuck what he said. I don't believe in what he said. We are not friends with what he said. He's lucky we're friends right now because we wouldn't be with the opinion he had. He's going to get his dick cut off because of that opinion.
I've already cut it off, so joke's on you.
Well, he's gonna get everything cut off. Like you're gonna get your dick fucking stitched back on and then cut off again. And they're gonna feed it to you.
That sounds very graphic. Kind of hurts my feelings that you'd say something like that.
You hurt my feelings by saying No Way Home sucks, so shut the fuck up. Anyways, what's your 5?
So yeah, my 5, which I'm now scared to share now that he's fired up and probably woken everyone in the neighborhood.
Yeah, probably.
I guess my favorite movie of all time. So for those of you that don't know, I'm obviously a sucker for Westerns. I made a Western.
I was in it.
It's true. He was in it. So, and this is more of a recent thing. I sort of liked Westerns as a kid, but only sort of. And then as I got older, I saw more and more, and I was like, oh, wow, these are great. And obviously, I'm a big Clint Eastwood fan, but for me, my favorite movie of all time is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which you knew this was coming, but we've sort of had this conversation before.
Yeah, we had a conversation in the car, and we got all of this shit. I wasn't even framed when I did that.
I mean, you can't be like there's. But yeah, no, that's.
And would you believe me if this isn't everything? This is not a Spider-Man themed episode. Shut the fuck up. You go.
It's true though. I went to his house to get it. This is like maybe half.
This isn't half.
That's why I said maybe.
There is no maybe.
Maybe a quarter.
This is not even a quarter.
Okay.
This isn't even all the comics that you see. This much. I think we need a couple more. I didn't grab.
So that's not everything. But this is just a Spider-Man themed episode. I don't even know why we tried.
I don't know
anything
either.
else.
You're fine. Go.
So yeah, I like that movie because it felt ahead of its time, not only in story but in acting and in shots visually. Because the man was using certain types of close-ups. Cameras back then, for those of you who don't know, were massive. And so they all were shot on a tripod, which is why a lot of old movies from the 60s and back are very still. It's because cameras were like the size of this table. And humans couldn't hold it. And yet somehow, you know, the director, who I'm forgetting the name of right now, it's not Morricone. It's,
let me look it up.
There's Ennio Morricone. And what's his name?
Who is the director of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
Sergio Leone.
Sergio Leone, that's what it is.
Wikipedia.
I don't know why I couldn't think of that, but
I wonder if the mic picked that up.
probably. But
That'd be funny.
Sergio Leone, he does a lot of close-ups, which if you ever watch a lot of my more recent stuff, I love a good close-up because we were talking about this earlier with the depth of field thing.
Yeah.
He does that before anybody did that. The idea of like being close up enough on the subject so that the background is out of focus. I mean, like that was an idea, but it wasn't like back then everything was in focus. It just felt like somebody just put on a camera. And so he was giving shots there, especially in the graveyard scene where Tuco's running around. Like those shots to me were ahead of their time, which is why I like it so much. Which is why I think it comes close to crossing off all the boxes for a perfect movie. But the only reason I don't think it does is because it's a 3-hour to the dot movie, which can drag on a bit long.
Yeah, I've never seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, so...
Yeah, so it's long.
Oh, well, I'm surprised you didn't castrate me like I did with him, the Crow. Like, well, you haven't seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? We're watching that motherfucker tonight!
Only because it's a 3-hour movie. If it was an hour and a half, I'd be like, oh, well, you're watching it tonight. But it's literally like if you look at a timer, it's like 2 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds.
Holy shit, that is 3 hours.
It's a 3-hour movie, so I always tell people like, maybe just watch the ending because that's really the best part. But no, it's a good movie, and if you're down to sit for 3 hours,
I mean, if you're willing to watch Endgame, I don't know why I'm comparing The Good, the Bad, the Ugly to Endgame, but if you're willing to sit down and watch like movies like, was Oppenheimer 3 hours long?
I don't know. I actually didn't get to see Oppenheimer.
Me neither. Hold on.
Or Barbie, for that matter. It was very sad that I didn't see.
How long is Oppenheimer? 3 hours. So if you're willing to sit down and watch Oppenheimer, you'll sit down and watch The Good, and Bad, and the Ugly.
And I think you'll enjoy it because after a while, I think you'll forget that it was made in the 60s because it felt very ahead of its time. So that's why it's my favorite. Number 2 is also an old movie.
You love your old movies. Well, actually, how old are we talking here?
Earlier than The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
What the fuck?
Only by 6 years, though. It's an Alfred Hitchcock movie. It's Psycho.
Okay, makes sense. Really, Psycho?
Yeah.
That was not something I expected to come out of your mouth.
Yeah, I'm a big Psycho fan.
I thought you were going to say, like, Clint Eastwood's fucking dirty cock or something. I don't know.
I was a big Psycho fan, and oddly, the movie I'm going to mention after this used to be my favorite movie for the longest time, and then I saw Psycho, and then that became my favorite, and then I saw The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and then that became my favorite. So that's why there's sort of a Psycho I love, because for similar reasons of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, where it was a little more ahead of its time, I also just love its kind of quirkiness. It's suspense, like it's very suspenseful. And like it's not like an original idea now.
No.
But back then, the scores, which are stand the test of time, and that idea had not been done yet.
Yeah,
Like there was no like Silence of the Lambs or you know, any other sort of suspenseful psychopath movie murder.
Yeah, like there wasn't no Silence of the Lambs or American Psycho.
Yeah, or anything like that. So the fact that it was sort of the first to do that, and in still many ways I think better than some of those other ones, is why I would view it as my second. Thankfully, the one next to this is old, but it's not even remotely as old.
Like how old are we talking here?
92.
Okay, that's not that bad.
You ever seen the movie Wayne's World?
Yeah, I have.
That one used to be my favorite movie for the longest time.
I mean, that's not that bad. My favorite movie for the longest time before I saw fucking Spider-Verse, I think it was Les Mis.
I don't even know what that is.
Les Miserables. It's a musical starring Hugh Jackman.
Yes, I know that one.
Yeah, that used to be my favorite movie for the longest time.
Interesting. Yeah, that one I wouldn't expect.
Yeah, no one expected that one, but then I saw Spider-Verse and went, yeah, that's better. But that was before I even had like this is my favorite. No, this is before I even had like a number one.
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe it wasn't. I think it was maybe The Crow I saw, and then that one became instantly better.
Yeah. And for me, the reason I liked Wayne's World is because when I was a kid, I was really into rock music. I actually had no idea what rap music was until I was 11. And a friend of mine named Kyle introduced it to me. And then I was in love with it after that. It became my favorite genre of music. But before then, I was a big rock kid. And Wayne's World is in the early 90s, and their characters were late 80s. So they were like the sort of, you know, the hard rock, glam rock 80s rock music era. And it's a comedy movie about musical guys who make a show. So you got comedy, making movies, music. Like, you know, it's all of my favorite things lumped into one movie.
Plus, you have Mike Myers.
Yeah. Dana Carvey, Rob Lowe.
Yeah, a young Rob Lowe. He's fucking young in that.
If you think he's young in that, you need to see The Outsiders. You ever seen The Outsiders?
Who hasn't?
Yeah, so
I think
that was 10 years before that movie.
Yeah, it was. I think I saw Outsiders in middle school. I don't know if you saw it, but I mean, when we read it in middle school, yeah.
But yeah, no. So for the longest time, that was my favorite movie because it checked off all my favorite boxes: rock music, making, you know, a show / film. It's a comedy. It's a movie. So it was my favorite, and it still is number 3 for me because it has all that same things. Once you get past that, it gets a little tricky because it sort of gets a little fuzzy, and I'm not really sure what to put in after that. I know, and this one I think you can agree with. I think after Wayne's World, when we went to go see it, the movie, I think it's easily the greatest superhero movie of all time, or comic book movie, whatever you want to call it. The Batman.
Oh yes, yeah. Maybe not the greatest. Well, it's one of the greatest comic movies. I wouldn't say it's the greatest because there's like a bunch you can say that's the greatest. But
in my personal opinion, from a technical.
From a technical standpoint.
From a technical and a personal standpoint.
From a technical standpoint, in my eyes, it's on the same level as the Spider-Verse movies, where, in a sense, like it kind of like brought some of that shit to light.
Yeah, like I think it's easily, in my opinion, the best superhero movie that's graced this earth, which is so funny because when you invited me to go watch it in the IMAX theater, I remember telling Calvin, like, I don't want to go see this movie because I don't think Robert Pattinson's gonna do a good job, and like I didn't want to waste my time seeing it, but I don't want to be rude. So you brought me, and I was just like, all right, like we'll just pretend to like it. And I walked out of there being like, that movie was fucking amazing.
Like you couldn't pretend.
Oh my god! I was like, holy crap! Like that.
How did they make it good?
And it was how did you? I was
the Batmobile scene,
dude. I was like, I wouldn't shut up for the whole. I was like sweating. Like my pits were sweating like crazy.
That's probably because of us in the theater too.
I was out of breath. I was just like, oh my god. So much so that we came home and talked about it for an hour and a half on video. And it was so long. We said so many things that I was just like, we can't even release this because this is 90 minutes of footage that I gotta go through.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll do a podcast episode. Maybe. Of us rewatching that movie.
It was insane. We own it now. Like it was...
Yeah, I actually got its day up when it came out on DVD.
Wow, awesome. I think I did too.
Yeah.
So and that might have added to why that movie's in my top 4 because I had such low expectations. So that way, when
So the Batman's number 4 for you?
yeah,
Okay, I was like, wait, hold on. I didn't even know that was number 4. I didn't know we moved from Wayne's World to Batman.
That's what I put only because I think it's the greatest superhero movie ever.
Yeah.
If you disagree, that's fine.
I don't disagree. I think it's one of.
I think
because there's multiple movies. Like I think Spider-Man is the first one is one of the greatest superhero movies of all time. I think both Spider-Verse movies are the greatest superhero movies of all time. I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to start another argument, but
I mean, you can. I'm not going to jump down your throat.
Okay, so I think No Way Home is one of the greatest.
I'm just kidding. Holy shit. For those of you listening, I jumped at him and startled him, I think.
Yes, you did. Holy shit. Okay, so Batgirl saying startle me again and you will not like it. I think No Way Home is one of the greatest comic book movies ever made.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're going to stray away from Spider-Man stuff now.
Yeah. So that's my other one is the Batman, which is a good one. Robert Pattinson did a surprisingly good job. I thought I always forget his name, but the not Chief O'Hara. That's from the 60s. Commissioner Gordon.
Jeffrey Wright.
Amazing.
He's a good actor. If you watch What If, his voice, oh my god, he voices the Watcher in that show.
And I didn't even hate him as an actor. I was just like, I don't know how he's gonna do as Commissioner Gordon. I was like, I don't know. And Zoe Kravitz as
Catwoman.
I was like, like if you had told me, well, when they told me that these were the actors, I remember thinking like, this is gonna be so bad.
A woman better than what they would have given us originally. That was supposed to be Ben Affleck's movie.
Yeah. So,
would you rather have Pattinson? Would you rather have Affleck?
Oh,
I believe Affleck was supposed to direct that. Well, he's not a bad director.
I'll say is I was very much stood corrected with that movie because it was amazing.
Yeah, like it met expectations and then some.
Yeah, and then everybody just did an amazing job. So
like it was so good. It made you change perspectives of an actor that you didn't like. That's how good the movie is.
Yeah, it was that good, and that's why I was like, oh my god, like.
And what is number 5? Unless we're not done talking about Batman.
I mean, we could talk about Batman all day.
But this is not a Batman themed episode. It's gonna be like everyone's like, is this a Batman themed episode? And there's like Spider-Man shit back here. Like, what the fuck is this episode?
Number 5, I would probably say. So it's interesting. It's either so. Anyone else that knows, I'm also a very big Wes Anderson fan. I have been since I saw Fantastic Mr. Fox in theaters in 2009.
I can only see ever seen that movie. I think I saw a movie once and I was like young, so I don't remember what.
So I was 6 when I first saw it, and it made me laugh, but I didn't fully get it or appreciate it till I was a little older. But I've been a Wes Anderson fan for a while, so I think he made one recently called Asteroid City that I thought was very good. So either that or Grand Budapest Hotel. One of those two, I think, would be my number 5.
I have never seen those.
They're interesting. He's got a very unique taste. I don't think everybody would like Wes Anderson. He's one of those people that like hipsters say they like to seem different. Does that make sense? Like he's not everyone's cup of tea. Very quirky, but it works for me.
Yeah,
it might work for you, but then again, I don't entirely know your sense of humor. So
it depends on how funny it is. You could literally drop a baby right in front of me and I will laugh hysterically. Don't do that, by the way. But
yeah, so he's not really a dark humor kind of guy as much as he really is. It's all about the timing for him. Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
and for me, it's like it depends what's funny. Like, I'll laugh at a 9/11 joke at once, and then maybe I'll laugh at a fart joke the next. Like, it really depends on the joke.
So it might be worth a watch for Fantastic Mr. Fox, I think, because I think that's his tamest. Like, I think that's the starter pack for Wes Anderson movies. Is Fantastic Mr. Fox should be your first movie. So maybe we can watch that. And then if you're like, oh, that was really good, then we'll go to the next one, which I think should be Moonrise Kingdom, because that's like a step up. And then you just slowly work your way from there.
That could be a nice podcast episode right there.
Yeah, man.
We each just pick 5 movies that none of us have actually watched. We watch it and then we film our reactions to it.
So if we do that, I think you if you like Fantastic Mr. Fox, then we'll slowly probably get you for some of his others. But if you're like, it's all right, or it wasn't that good, then you're just not gonna like him, and that's fine because a lot of people think he's kind of weird, which is fine because in a way he is, but I think he's weird in a good way. I think so that's probably my top 5. I think would be to review Good, Bad, Ugly, Psycho, Wayne's World, The Batman, either Asteroid City or Grand Budapest. Probably Asteroid City. I did really enjoy that in theaters.
I have not seen that.
And for me, for a Wes Anderson movie, it takes a couple watches for it to actually really sink in as a good movie.
Yeah.
On the first watch, you're almost just taking it in. But Asteroid City was one of the first like Wes Anderson movies that I watched the first time and just was like, yes. So that's probably my top 5. I think Asteroid City's number 5.
Yeah, and then my top. Okay, really isn't top 5. Like my 5 I picked were the first Spider-Man movie. I forgot to mention that another really big reason why I like this movie is the history, like all the behind scenes shit before this came out. I will not mention it because it's not a Spider-Man themed episode. This joke has lived past its mark, but I don't even think it's a joke. But like, I just love the history behind this movie. Look it up if you want to. Maybe we can do a podcast episode where I fucking teach you the whole history because I know like all the behind the scenes shit of like all the council movies that came out before this. Like how something back there. Like this. And also, if the camera can't see, this is like the James Cameron scriptament. And yes, James Cameron as in like Terminator, Titanic, Avatar, James Cameron. This preceded this. You know those organic webs you like?
Yeah.
You want to know who came up with it? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't Sam. It was James. He came up with that. Yeah. There was also going to be a sex scene between MJ and Peter on the Brooklyn Bridge. So... yeah, damn it.
We could have had some.
We could have Leonardo DiCaprio as Spider-Man. He was going to fuck some redhead. Yeah, I know. Ooh. Supposedly he was the one in the running. But
instead he made Titanic.
Yeah, but we can thank Leo for giving us Toby.
Yeah, that's true.
He's actually the legit reason why.
No, I believe it.
Okay, so
unpopular opinion though, I don't like James Cameron that much.
That's not really. I
haven't seen Terminator, so I can't attest to that.
I've seen part of the first one. I have seen the second one. But second one's like probably his best one.
I didn't like Titanic. I didn't like Avatar.
I have no interest in watching Titanic, and Avatar is overrated. It's not bad.
It's the highest grossing movie of all time.
It shouldn't be. Endgame should be. Endgame's better. Like, I know you're not the biggest fan of Endgame, but even then.
I could at least see it. Like, I would be like, okay, that makes sense. That's a lot of Marvel people, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's the sequel to, like, it's the sequel to Infinity War. And it's like the ending of the MCU, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, and it was, actually, no, at one point, it was the highest grossing. But then they released Avatar, them fuckers.
So it was, I just find that ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. And it's fucking. It held the second one. I think broke even, but it's not even it's not even top 5. I don't think.
Yeah, man.
Hold up a second.
I'm gonna. How much time we got?
Well, if we need, we can run over.
We got So we still got time. We got a little over 11 minutes.
So do we really want to run over 11 minutes for just a perfect movie, or?
We could do. I mean, we're not on a tight schedule. We talk a lot. We told you in the first episode, so we time ourselves.
Top 5 highest grossing movies. Hold on, wait. Oh, you fucking nincompoop. So it goes Avatar, Endgame, Avatar 2.
What?
Titanic, Force Awakens.
That's insane, dude. Force Awakens, is that...
That's the...
7th one?
8th. No, wait, yeah, no, wait. No, 7 was Return of the Jedi, 8 was Force Awakens.
No,
7 was Return of the Jedi. No, never mind. 6 was. Son of a bit. It's been a while since I've seen Star Wars.
The Force Awakens makes sense because it was the first Star Wars movie since
the 6th one.
Technically the 3rd one. Pretty cool one.
But
But I get what you mean.
yeah, like the first one after.
So 2005, that movie came out.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because I think, but Force came out
12 years.
16, yeah.
First time in 12 years that there was going to be a Star Wars movie. So that I can see.
Yeah.
I wasn't alive for the hype of Titanic, so I don't know what that entailed, but from what I've heard from my mom, there was a lot of Titanic buildup in the 80s. And then they found it in, I think, the early 90s. So that was a big deal. So I could kind of see that. The Avatars one just blow my mind. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Like,
what CG? Like, I've seen the movie. I've seen the movie a couple of times. I actually almost said it was one of my favorites. But then I legit had to stop myself and be like, okay, hold up. I just saw the movie once. Let me see it maybe 2 more times. I saw it 2 more times. I don't think I finished them after that.
And that's the thing. I dare you to go up to anyone and just ask them, like,
what's your favorite scene in Avatar?
Yeah, who's your favorite character?
The hot blue chick. The one that Zoe Saldana plays.
Yeah. Name an animal. And like I guarantee you everyone's just gonna be like, that one dragon thing was pretty cool. Right? So like,
I think the main thing was like the visuals of that movie. Like that's what got it.
Which I get, but like we've just, I don't know. Red Dead 2 had great visuals. You know what I mean?
Fucking Spider-Man had great visuals. Fucking Spider-Man had great visuals. What?
I don't know. I don't get it. I like Endgame makes sense because
it's like the ending of the MCU.
Yeah, I liked Infinity War better.
I think a lot of people like Infinity War better. I like Endgame better. But
And I definitely thought it was
in theaters.
I definitely thought it was weird because it felt like all Endgame did was just kind of undo whatever Infinity War did. But either way, I see it. Like I understand why that would be the highest. But I don't know.
Again, it was at one point the second highest grossing movie. Actually, no, it's still never mind. It still is. That's right.
So it's and either way. With that being said, Avatar's overrated.
Yeah. Oh shit.
We agree on that much.
So for those of you listening, I just lowered my seat.
But let's move on from that and let's talk about perfect movies.
Yeah.
The criteria for a perfect movie. I think you'll agree. I think it's something that checks off all the boxes.
Like what you told me earlier from a driving here.
Technical aspect, a writing aspect, an acting aspect, a length aspect, and sort of that like cult classic aspect, like something that would stand the test of time.
But I mean, heck, for some of them do break that rule. Like, fuck it. In my eyes, the Batman is semi-perfect.
And like to me, I can see that. I think it comes damn near close.
Yeah, it does.
But I don't know what it is, but there's something about it that I don't think makes it like the fact that people still don't like talk about it a whole lot.
There's still a good bit to talk about it.
It means it doesn't quite for me like I'm not saying that there isn't. I'm saying that people don't. It means it doesn't check off that cult classic thing. The biggest example I go to for a perfect movie, like it or not, is Back to the Future 1.
I'm not disagreeing with
I don't know
that.
anybody that like hates that movie. I know one person who doesn't like it, but the only reason they don't like it is because their boss used to play it every day on a loop.
Well, that I can understand.
So she's seen it like 1,000+ times. She could say it word for word, and she wasn't even that interested in it in the first place. So that I get. That's like FBI torture shit.
Yeah.
So, but it's like it checks off all the boxes. It's a kind of a simple story. Technically, it's done well. Writing wise, it's done well. Acting wise, it's done well. And it's like a cult classic. It came out, everybody loved it. Still talked about it. We still talk about it to this day.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump. That we mentioned earlier.
Remember that Forrest Gump? Get that out of your fucking ear right now. We're talking about it.
I think it crosses off all the boxes. Great
and then
acting.
some. Like it's really fucking good. I cried like 3 times. I think.
Man,
and normally it's very rare for me to cry. I think I've only ever cried to like 2 other movies. Endgame.
Interesting.
When Tony died.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever heard of it or seen it, but there was a movie called The Color Purple.
Oh yeah, my mama loves that movie. I think that's her favorite movie.
Yeah, I saw it once when I was 11.
Dude,
I bawled my fucking eyes out at the ending. I need to rewatch that movie.
Can I be honest? I might say Color Purple's the perfect movie. A perfect movie.
It's been years since I've seen it.
We'll rewatch it, but I think that checks off all the boxes.
I might cry at the ending of it.
Great acting, great writing, technically done well.
I think that was my mom's favorite, or one of her favorites.
I think the Color Purple's
speaking of one of my mom's favorites, God rest her soul, Die Hard. Your first Die Hard.
Yes. Okay, I have not seen that.
How have you
Okay. I saw. I remember it was free on YouTube one time, and I watched the first half of it. Went to sleep. Woke up the next day. It was no longer free.
Well, fuck.
So I haven't finished it. I hear a lot of good things.
It's the best Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie. So I agree with that.
We're at that time. We should watch it. Maybe we'll watch it right after this. I'll buy it.
So yes, I can't attest to that. I'm not saying that's incorrect. I'm just saying I can't.
But I guess while we're on this topic, let's grab movies that other people think that are perfect, and we kind of dumb them down and like, no, they're not perfect. Really fucking good example, and I know this is gonna piss people off. The Dark Knight. That is not a perfect movie.
Is that that's the
one with Heath Ledger as Joker? That is not a perfect movie, guys. The Batman is better, and here's why.
Okay.
I think when first seeing it, I was like, so when I watched the Dark Knight trilogy, I watched the Dark Knight first, then Rises, then Batman Begins. Out of all three of those, I kind of like all three of them equally. But part of it is, I think when I first saw, it's been a while since I've seen them, but hell, I think I'm ever still watching them. I still think the Dark Knight's a bit overrated. But that's just because I love your Christopher Nolan. He doesn't know Batman that well.
Interesting.
Like, you can tell, because as a comic book fan, I don't know if you read any Batman comics, but I know
only after I saw A Dark Knight.
So I can tell you right now, he only read 3 Batman comics. The Long Halloween, Dark Knight Returns, and Year One. Year One was Batman Begins, and I can tell you right now, like, that's a really good Batman Begins movie. Hell, I think Year One movie with Darren Aronofsky. I don't know if you've heard of him. I haven't seen any movies of his, but I know he was supposed to do a Batman movie, and that's actually what came before Batman Begins. And yeah, and The Dark Knight Returns was The Dark Knight Rises. I think Long Halloween you could say was The Dark Knight. I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched.
Here's what I'll say. I'll agree that it's not a perfect movie, because I think technically the Batman was done better from a technical aspect. But that being said, it is my favorite Batman movie. I did love everything about it. I think you cannot deny that Heath Ledger is the best Joker, and I personally think that
Heath is the best live action one. He's not the best one overall.
I think he is.
But motherfucker, are we talking like both animated also?
I am, yes. Who would you say is better?
Mark Hamill.
No? I think he's...
Okay, let's move away from that topic before we start an argument. Okay.
I think he's all right. I mean, I think he does a good job. I think if you get anybody else for animated ones, you're dumb. But I don't think he's the best.
Well, it sucks that he retired after Kevin Conroy died.
Damn.
But we can tell you right now, Kevin Conroy's the best Batman. If you say anything different, I will slap you in the fucking face.
I disagree. I think he's best animated.
Okay, best. Best. I would take best animated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think the Kevin Conroy Mark Hamill duo. If you got anyone else for a game, cartoon,
like literally, I think Mark Hamill said, if Kevin Conroy's voicing Batman, he's gonna be voicing the Joker.
Yeah, like if you get anybody else,
it's not gonna feel right.
Like no. But if you're talking about overall, I don't think they are personally. And I think if you do, that's not ridiculous, right? Like I'm not like. That's outrageous. I just think they're not. Well, and you also have to keep in mind, I'm a movie guy, right? We both know this. You're more of the comic book
movie guy.
Animated guy. So from your side, I get it because you read a lot more. You do a lot more of the animated stuff. I'm not anti-animated movie. But if I could get a live action movie or an animated movie, I would pick the live action.
Okay, that's a good answer.
So I think that's why I come from the like Heath Ledger's the best and
like why you think the live action was for you or better, but for me who grew up watching I did not grow up watching The Dark Knight. I think I was in middle school when I watched The Dark Knight, so I was far the fuck away from the hype. Mm-hmm. But I grew up watching a lot of the Kevin Conroy, like watching Batman the animated series. And, I don't think that much of New Adventures, but I watched a lot of Batman Beyond growing up.
Yeah, like I still think I haven't seen any of that.
Well, you need to start watching them.
But all the movie ones I've seen, even the shitty one with George Clooney. I've actually seen that a couple times. I might be the only person in the world who's seen that more than one time.
No, you're probably the second person in the world. I'm the first. I'm the first to watch it more than once.
I don't think it's
that was I grew up watching that movie. Actually, I liked that movie as a kid.
Is it like a guilty pleasure? Oh, that's the bell.
But we're still gonna keep going.
It's out of time. Well, we are, but we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
So here, from my wrap up will be my top 5 favorite movies. Good, Bad, Ugly, Psycho, Wayne's World, The Batman, and Asteroid City. My 5 picks for the perfect movie: Back to the Future, Forrest Gump, Color Purple. And I'll be honest, I'm just gonna leave it there because I don't know if I have any other 2 off the top of my head.
So from my 5, they're not top 5, but for my 5, it's the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, The Crow, Forrest Gump. And when I say The Crow, I mean the 1994 first one with Brandon Lee, because there is more than one, and I don't like other ones. I refuse to watch the other ones. Where was I? Forrest Gump. The Spider-Verse movies and No Way Home.
Mm.
For my perfect movies, we didn't really touch on that because we kind of talked for a little bit.
Yeah.
But for my perfect movies, the Spider-Verse movies. The Spider-Verse movies are perfect. Forrest Gump is perfect. I cannot say about Color Purple because I was 11 when I saw that.
Let's say we'll have to rewatch it, but I think that's definitely a perfect movie. And it's crazy to think that was Spielberg.
You're kidding, right?
No, that dude does everything. It's insane.
I need to fact check you on that. What?
The one with Whoopi Goldberg, right? The Color Purple?
I think so. Hold on, wait. Oh my fucking god!
Right? Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh my god! I didn't even know he directed that.
Yeah, dude. He's a. I didn't realize how good he was until I checked his movie list. I was like, holy shit! I thought he was just like the Indiana Jones guy.
Yeah.
No, he's like Indiana Jones, and he's also Schindler's List, and he's also in charge of DreamWorks.
I keep forgetting he was in charge.
He assisted in making the B movie
and Shrek. And the Shrek 2.
Well, no, I know
Reckoning.
he worked with Seinfeld personally, I believe.
Oh, really?
For a little bit, yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, I believe the B movie was in production for fucking ever.
Yeah. And then he also does things like The Color Purple and I don't know if I think I already said this, but Schindler's List.
Yeah. And he did the newer West Side Story that came out.
Mm-hmm. I've not seen it. I don't know if you've ever seen The Fabelmans, but that was a great movie.
I've heard of it.
So he's good at what he does. But anyway, that's a wrap. Thank you for listening or watching.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the camera has cut off by now because it's been over 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But we're going to cross our fingers and hope that that's not the case.
Yeah.
If it is, then there will have been a picture of us.
This whole time
of us.
Maybe we'll insert in footage of me playing Spider-Man for the PS4. Or for me playing Spider-Man on the PC with all the mods. We'll have Subway Surfers in the background with yeah, we'll do something.
We'll do something. So again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And have a good day.
Like, comment, subscribe if you want. I mean, I don't care what you comment.
Repost if you're listening on SoundCloud or whatever.
No, you comment. You can call me the N-word in the comments. Don't call me the N-word in the comments.
I was waiting for that. I was like, wow, this man's about to be really nice.
Or if anything, soft A at least.
Just keep it all love. Let's say that. Let's keep it love. So peace out.
I should probably watch when I say that. My family. I think my family watches these. So
and have a good life. Deuces.
See ya.